You've got to give it to Andretti, they sure know how to keep themselves in the public conscious. A huge coup has been achieved by Andretti in securing yet more personnel. However, this time it appears that Andretti are going for the throat by securing not only a high-profile ex-member of Williams, Renault and Benetton, but the recently available Chief Technical Officer of Formula One itself. The very company whose commercial arm rejected Andretti not only saw its Chief Technical Officer poached by the American team, but has also seen a public letter from the US Congress calling on the President of the United States to initiate a probe into just why Andretti Motorsport was rejected by Formula One, Liberty Media, and the FOM. Surely the timing of all of this, as well as the recent Miami Grand Prix fracas that saw Andretti first announce its support from the members of Congress, is calculated and entirely intentional, and the pressure surely must be getting piled on by now. We said before that it seems only one question needs to be answered, and that is what will break first, Andretti's spirit or Liberty and FOM's stubbornness. And if the past couple of weeks is anything to go by, then it seems Andretti isn't going to be giving in anytime soon. Want to know why Pat Symonds joining Andretti is a massive step forward for the American team? Whether this move pays off, time will tell, but this mutiny could well kickstart Andretti's bid to join the paddock. And stick around because Sergio Perez might be biting off more than he can chew as the silly season continues to develop, and perhaps there could be a link between today's stories in the future. So where else to start but this? After 7 years as F1's Chief Technical Officer, Pat Symonds has decided to join Andretti Motorsport in a move that nobody could have seen coming. It was believed that Symonds may step down upon the finalization of the 2026 regulations rule set, with Symonds already being a huge factor in the current regulations between 2022 and 2026. However, it was entirely unknown what his intentions would be following his departure. At 70 years old and with a plethora of experience, success, and no shortage of controversy in his time, Pat Symonds couldn't be blamed for walking off into the sunset and enjoying a retirement. But it seems in this sport, you can never truly walk away. Isn't that right, Fernando? Symonds will be joining Andretti Motorsport as an executive engineering consultant after fulfilling a required gardening leave, working at the recently opened Silverstone base of operations. That's right, the Chief Technical Officer in charge of overseeing the current as well as the upcoming rule set is going to be advising Andretti Motorsport in regards to everything from aero to engine, which is absolutely insane. It'd be like taking an annotated copy of every textbook necessary into an exam. The excitement about the acquisition was palpable when Michael Andretti announced Symonds as the new executive engineering consultant. We couldn't be more excited to welcome Pat to the Andretti family. Pat's keen understanding of aerodynamics, vehicle dynamics, and Formula One power units will be instrumental as we continue to build a competitive team. I believe his expertise have been pivotal in shaping the narrative of Formula One, and his vote of confidence in joining our efforts speaks volumes. I'm really happy with this next step as our work continues at pace. And that is the key thing here. This isn't only a victory for Andretti from a technical point of view, as Symonds will be joining up with his ex-Benetton and Renault colleague, Nick Chester, who fills the role of technical director in the American team. It's also a massive PR win. What better way to demonstrate your competitive intentions than to bring aboard a guy who has not only won multiple championships, but was also so trusted by the very sport trying to keep Andretti away that they hired him themselves. When Andretti received their rejection from F1, they were informed that they would be able to reapply for entry when GM was ready, aiming for a 2028 entry into the sport, 2 years later than originally intended, at 2026 at the latest. Since then, the American team has opened a facility far closer to home for Formula One, somewhere where they can be a far greater nuisance and really get under the skin. And what better way to do that than starting up a recruitment drive right at the heart of Formula One at Silverstone itself? Pat Symonds is just the first major acquisition by the team. The objective for Andretti is clear at the moment, and he is doing everything he possibly can to succeed in it. Push F1 to the point where they can't say no. The point where Andretti Motorsport as an F1 entrant is undeniable, and he is doing a pretty solid job of that so far. Andretti disclosed in an interview with Sky that the team still has an open dialogue ongoing with the FOM, and would double down on the importance that guaranteeing their entry has in regards to General Motors' involvement in the sport. We are still working along with FOM, and we will show that we are bringing a lot to the party. General Motors is huge coming to the party. They are not just coming to be here, they're coming here to be a part of our team, and I think it's not been understood yet how big that is. I think once everybody understands what we are really putting together, it'll be a point where they can't say no. Not only that, but Andretti is under no illusion that just turning up in 2028 and expecting to be competitive off the bat is ludicrous, hence why he is pushing for the team to be allowed access as soon as possible in order to be a truly competitive unit as soon as possible with General Motors when they are ready to join the American team in their Formula 1 venture. They are currently building an engine, they are already registered to do it, so they will have an engine in 28, but obviously we will need to build to get there. To just all of a sudden show up in 2028 with a new engine and no team, we will need 2 years to build to get there, so that when we do get our own engine, the team's ready to go and be competitive. So we are not naive in any way in that way. And it's not only trackside where the pressure is being ramped up on F1, as the assault by Andretti has multiple fronts. The other key one is being backed by members of the US Congress, and following their open letter to Liberty and FOM before the Miami Grand Prix, the bipartisan group of Congress members decided to take it up a notch. And by a notch, we mean to the President of the United States of America and his administration. The members of Congress sent an open letter to the Justice Department's Antitrust Division and the Federal Trade Commission, calling on them to take a look at Andretti's rejection from the sport to ensure that they hadn't been done dirty by a group trying to block out competition. The crux of Congress's argument is that the addition of another team, especially one with the proven track record of Andretti Motorsport in other disciplines and the backing of General Motors down the line, will only increase competitiveness in the sport, not reduce it. The letter even brings up the fact that F1 are in no way in a position to dictate who will be competitive and act like the bar is oh so high, given that one team alone won every race bar one last year and that 4 teams have failed to do so in the past 4 seasons, including felon tax evader Gene Haas's team, who are yet to win a race and show no signs of changing that. And hey, unlike Haas, Andretti will actually be able to leave his home country and attend races rather than do his business from a telephone. The most potent argument provided in the letter, however, was that of Formula One's hypocrisy in wanting to be as American as can be while also keeping any actual American entrant as far away as possible for reasons that just do not add up. Most striking, however, was FOM's determination that bringing Team Andretti Cadillac to F1 would not add value to the championship. While F1 currently does not have an American-based team, F1 has been determined to increase its presence in the US market. Over the past few years, more than 1 million Americans have tuned into each F1 race, more than doubling over the past few seasons. Last year, F1 hosted 3 races in America, in Miami, Las Vegas, and Austin, while no other country hosted more than a single race. Even individual teams, such as Red Bull, are courting US fans by hosting events in US cities to get up close and personal with the marvel of Formula 1 engineering, bringing together F1 fans. It should be noted here that Italy has posted multiple races in recent years, however last year's Imola Grand Prix was cancelled due to a natural disaster. However, their point still stands that no other frontier has been expanded upon in quite such an aggressive way as North America. The real mic drop and accusation followed this, with the members of Congress finishing up the letter by saying, "Clearly, there is a financial incentive to adding an American team to F1's roster, and there is no reason that Team Andretti Cadillac should be blocked unless FOM is trying to insulate its current partners from competition." To butcher a Spice Girl lyric, if you want to host our races, you gotta get with our entrant. Andretti will continue to pile on the pressure from its recruitment drives, consistent and tactically spaced out media coverage, as well as an outspoken and outraged Congress who are making sure their support is as loud as possible. It'd be interesting to see just how hot the antitrust accusations need to get before F1 are forced to blink first, or just how major of a technical backing Andretti needs to make F1 start to feel the brain drain to people they won't even let on track. Either way, the question still remains about who will back down first, but we have a sneaking feeling that it won't be Andretti Motorsport. In other news, Sergio Perez has been rebuffed by Red Bull upon requesting a longer contract term than what the team has currently got in mind. Perez supposedly responded to Red Bull's initial contract offer of a single year with an offer of his own, but according to Fox Sports Mexico, Red Bull wasn't exactly eager to take that on board. The team already has the contract, it is for 1 year. They offered it to Checo and he said, we need to review it. Checo's lawyers are in that process, but Checo submitted a 2-year counter-proposal to which immediately Red Bull said no. Which brought a scenario into our minds, and tinfoil hats on everybody. Let's say Andretti succeeds in getting their team up and running by 2026. What American drivers are actually available or suitable to join Andretti? Obviously their end goal will be an all-American everything, but Sergio Perez may prove to be the perfect stopgap while the American talent is developing. At every race currently held in the USA, given that they are all in southern-oriented states, there is a large contingent of fans yelling Checo's name, and Checo may well feel that an opportunity closer to home, with an exciting buzz around it, is the perfect place for him to be the main man in a way that he is currently dissuaded from being. Obviously that's just a crazy theory, but one that could prove a hell of a lot less crazy if Red Bull keep playing hooky with their driver, and Andretti keep their pursuit of F1 increasing in its intensity. Thank you for watching.